Now with the camera, you need to put the ball in a certain position. So when the light goes green, it means that the machine's ready to pick the ball up.
Okay.
And then you can start hitting it, it will display the numbers. Also the line, if you look behind here, you'll see the line just looks a little bit left from where the edge of the mat is. You see that? Yeah. Ignore that, because the edge of the machine there is parallel to the edge of the mat. So you need to be going about here, that's your line of target.
Okay.
Okay, that's all you need to know. I'll just let you get warmed up and then we'll start. Are we booked in for half an hour lesson or?
40 minutes.
40 minutes, okay.
Yeah.
That's no problem.
Absolutely amazing. Seeing it all for so long, and then to watch it. It's about right for me, that.
Looks really good, son. Looks really good.
I'll be happy with them all the time.
Don't worry, I haven't put anything on the machine to make it look straight or anything.
Yes. I felt the same back when I was a little, that's why I got that shape. About 30 yards worth of dispersion there though.
What would you like to get out of this side?
The iron strikes,
Striking.
yes. They are not consistent.
Are you talking about
That's
thin,
through-
fat, toe, heel?
The thin,
Thin.
yeah. Low cut ones on the blade. Is that right?
Low cuts, right, okay.
But that's probably only in low irons at 4.5s basically. I'm trying to get that yardage back. I don't be relying too much on my 2 iron, my hybrid obviously, which helps me a lot. Off the tee. I know I get a lot of control with the 2 iron, but I'd like to.
When you say 2 iron, you mean this one?
The hybrid, yeah.
Hybrid, yeah.
Off the tee is okay, but it's off the deck, and I'm just struggling with it. High irons, I'm pretty much okay. I'm striking well, but it's the low irons which I'm having trouble with. And I just can't get my head around it.
Seems to be striking it all right here, man.
So it's sexist. I mean, I've been going to the range every Thursday night, and I'm doing really well on the range. But then I take it to the course, and I think it's got something to do with the nylon on the bottom that's helping me skid across where I'm obviously not in grass,
Yeah, I suppose.
which is where this technology tells me where I'm hitting it on the face. We're all in about 5 yards of each other, really, aren't we? On the 7 iron, which puts me right in my yardage.
Mm-hmm.
If I change to a different club, is that okay? Or do you want to still?
Absolutely no problem. One more, George, and then we'll move this in. I think you're just out the area.
Okay.
Just one more.
That's my yardage on before.
Yeah, probably is you having to pull it to get the extra distance just to get to that yardage, which is a shame. I'll check. So, first things first, over this. What's the first thing you notice?
I'll watch it again, you know,
Yeah.
but it was pretty straight.
Don't worry about the head. I'll just do that on the side.
Shifting your hips forward.
So I tell you,
Right.
I'll go to this one, and this is probably a better view actually.
I'm changing it back.
Just watch the club. What are you doing?
Going over my hands.
No. Your backswing, mate.
Backswing.
Did you not see the top of your swing?
Was that was
Too far.
I over
You
backswing.
overswam.
So I'm like.
So, I'll show you why you're inconsistent with striking.
Okay.
You want to stand there first. Your shift into the ball is a bit inconsistent. What's very interesting is, I think what's confirmed as well is, you've gone here to a 4 iron and you first started with a 7, is that right? You mentioned to me that your ball striking with your 7 and sort of like higher irons like your 8-9 wedge are better than your long irons. Now, I've just seen you hit 4 iron and you did something you changed quite a bit your swing to try and suit the 4 iron. And then you start hitting duck shots there.
Yeah.
And then that's fine. So, first things first, so your tendencies are, and definitely one thing I'd like to change is your overswing. So consistency wise, if you're increasing the length on your backswing, you've got pretty good width on you, George, which is great. But if you're extending your length on the backswing, the club's got to travel a very long way to get back to the ball at the same point every single time. The next bit that also I'd like to have a look at is your body shift into the ball. Your body shift's changed when you hit that 7 iron in comparison to when you hit the 4 iron. Now, if I go to these numbers now, I'll show you the numbers. So the first number, I can see it big screen now, so you can see it. So the first, when you hit a 4 iron, you went down to here. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what I'm seeing at the moment. So I'm seeing the launch angle is okay, but it could be a little bit. It could be a little bit better for somebody who hits it as long as far as you. You probably could see a little bit, maybe less in terms of average wise. Club head speed's okay. You know, it's for a regular shaft anyway. Backspin rates are good. You keep them quite nice and low. It only goes low when you do when you get a draw. So then it goes very low to 3,000, 7,000.
Yeah.
That's where you get quite a nice bit of distance. But your ball doesn't go as high. So what I'd like to concentrate on is this launch angle business. Your launch angle is okay with a 7 iron and 8 iron. The reason being is you put the ball very far forward in your stance. And obviously you've got the loft there to help you. Now what you do is you put your ball quite a long way forward with every single club. I always think as when you're using irons, it always should be a progression. So you should start from your 7, 8, 9 pitching wedge all the way down in the centre, and then you progress with your 6 all the way up to your 3 iron, or hybrid or whatever, onto your left foot.
Yeah.
Now the reason for that is obviously you want to generate more height on the ball. Now the first thing you did immediately is you hit the ball really well with your 7 iron is because you shift forward onto your left hand side, so you get much better compression onto the golf ball.
Yeah.
So as you're hitting down and you're hitting underneath the ball. Now the reason you thin this one is you stop doing that because your brain thinks, right, there's not a lot of loft on this club, so then I need to try and get some more loft in it by not shifting on my left hand side and staying more in my centre. So the first thing you did was you duffed it.
Yes.
So your body is actually stayed behind the ball and you've hit the ground first onto it. Now, the cause of that obviously is your body shifting back onto your right hand side. But what I'd probably like to see is you need to have more of a consistency with what you're doing. If you're changing your body angle every single time, like your 7 iron you shift more onto this side and your 4 iron you're not shifting that much on the side, that's where your consistency is coming from. If you have a lot of body movements happening as well, it's not good either. So when I took the picture of the 7 iron, you had a very good shift onto your left hand side, which is good. Probably more exaggerated than a lot of other players I do see. That's why you get the great compression. But then you find it really uncomfortable when you get your 4 iron because you can't do that.
No.
Because you know your launch angle will get down to 14, which is you're not getting the ball off the ground.
No.
Now you find, you know, your driver should be around the 14, 15 degree mark. With the 4 iron, you're not able to get the distance you need from it. It's, you know, it's good that you get sort of like 15, 16, but you know we want to still maintain it. But you only got a good strike out of that. But you see how inconsistent your strike is there.
Yeah, yeah.
You got 177, 185, 200. You obviously that was the one that you hit the ground before. But the problem is you don't know what you're doing sort of like each time.
No.
So you're going forward in your stance, but you're keeping your body there, and that's where you don't know where the strike's going to be on the club. So every time I hit a ball, I just keep it very simple. I just want to keep it right in the middle throughout the entire shot, and then when I come through, I just move on to the left hand side. Simple as, keep my head very, very still. Yeah. So that's what I'd like to concentrate on, is keeping your body still and in the centre of the club. You're hitting the ball. I'd also like to move your. Right. It's going to take a bit of time, but I think this is how I go about fixing your problem. First of all, so let's take a 7 iron first. So your ball's in front of your stance. The ball predominantly was starting in which direction, which approves to left. So all the negatives there mean the ball's starting left.
It was, yeah.
Yes. So very easily I could just put the ball further back in your stance, into your centre. So if I had the club here, you see how my shoulders turn left?
Yeah.
And now I'm hitting left. If obviously I do the opposite, my club is now turning right with the shoulders.
Mhm.
So the ball position, if it goes back to your centre, your swing path should be squarer.
Yes.
Yes. The next thing is just reduce your length of your swing. If you're creating a lot of length, you're purposely slowing down just to get the time to close the club face. There's no point doing that because you're just losing club head speed doing that.
Right, yeah.
Then you're losing distance. You might as well just have a shorter swing, keep the rhythm, and then you can hit it a bit harder, knowing your club can release better.
Mm.
You know, you've got. So if I see here, this is quite interesting. You had left spin, then a left spin. Oh, there's a right, then a right, then a left, then a left, then a left, then a right, then a left.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't know which
No.
way your ball's going.
No.
So there's an inconsistency with which direction your ball's going.
Yeah.
So that's caused by your length of swing. It's all about your timing. And if you're second guessing yourself every time you've got your club over here somewhere, it's very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot of people and they always have a very consistent ball flight in terms of they always have a left spin or a right spin usually most of the time. And you know, it's a lot easier for them because they can just work to that goal. But what we need, as you said, you came in here and went, the first thing I need to concentrate on is my consistency and your striking, and that's to do with length of backswing. And obviously to combat that, what I'd like to do is move the ball position a little bit further back in your stance. And then we're just getting back to basics.
Yeah.
That we're not compensating 7-iron. Oh yeah, I can compress that, get onto my left hand side. Oh wait, no, I've got to stay back here with my 4-iron. Oh, I don't know why I'm striking it now. I'm thinning it now. So you see, when you put your ball position, when you have your body back here, you're hitting up on it.
Yeah.
So your club is coming very shallow. So shallow means you're coming close to the ground and up, and that's where you're hitting up on the ball and you're hitting the bottom of the club and you're not hitting down anymore on it.
No.
Does that make sense?
It does, because it's exactly, because as I see it, 4-iron, not much loft, exactly what you said, and I want to hit up. So I go into my driver swing.
Exactly. That's it.
Because rather than me shifting forward, I'm twisting, but my ball is further forward.
Yeah,
exactly what you said.
The ball forward is okay, but like you said, you're going to, right, I've got to do my driver swing. So why do you need to do your driver swing on a 4-iron? Make sense? You should have the same swing.
It does, but in my head, I need to try and get the height.
Yes.
To get it off the deck.
Yeah, but you haven't got consistency.
No.
So yeah, you hit one good shot there out of 4.
Yes.
What you'd like to be is obviously you'd like to hit 3 out of 4,
Definitely.
or 4 out of 5, or even 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
You'd like to see more of that, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? So that's why I'm talking to you about the length of the swing as well. The length of your swing was also a bit inconsistent. So the second video I took, your club went to about there.
Mm-hmm.
Second one just past parallel. That was with the 4-iron. So you're sort of like you're in that range, but everything is all over swinging. Now, if you watch me swing the club, if I get a 4-iron out, I don't even reach parallel.
No.
I don't need to. If I reach parallel, then the problem is my club hasn't got any time. So if you think of the toe as sort of like the control factor here, the toe will just stay open. I won't have the time to get it closed over there because it's travelled so far. It's not like travelling all the way around the earth. It hasn't got much time to get back around to the side.
Right.
And that's why you're slowing down, is because if you hit it any harder, I think that was in our first session, we started talking about how hard you were hitting the ball,
Yeah,
and you were just going, and then you start slowing down, you just start hitting these really nice straight ball flights, you're like, oh, I better slow down then. So yeah, it's great, but we just want to get rid of that overswing, and then you can start getting a bit more into the rhythm. So when you get onto the golf course, do you find like some days are really bad, and then some days are really good because you just get the rhythm right? Yes. Sometimes.
It does, but it's through the whole of the 18. It's not just a few holes.
Yeah. What you want to do is you want to find yourself the same backswing every single time, and then you know exactly what's going to happen with the club. You know the club's going to turn over, and you're still going to get that draw that you want. But it's going to be consistent, and you know you're not. If you do something wrong, you're going to hit a few odd pushes or slices. Fine. But if you've got this on here, left, left, right, right, left, left, and then right, and you don't know where the ball's going all over the place. Yeah? Good. Does that make sense though? So There's a lot of things there, so I'm just going to, we'll go through one point, which is working on the ball position to try, so the number we're going to concentrate on is this, call it what you want, it's called azimuth, but it's basically horizontal launch angle.
Yes.
So it's the direction of the ball. So if it's a minus, the ball's starting left, but you can see there, minus, 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 and there's one positive there.
Yeah.
But they're all minuses, so the ball is always starting left, which means the swing path is coming outside still.
Yeah.
But it's better, I mean, probably the first session I tried, that probably would have been about, that average there might have been about 5, and you probably would have seen about 8 degrees of out to in. So it's definitely better size. So, and I'm not sort of like saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying it definitely could be better, but you know that.
My natural swing shape is a draw, but I can purposely put a fade on it as well, an over-exaggerated fade,
Yeah,
probably about 7 or 8.
but it's uncontrolled, isn't it?
But a massive purpose hook, yes, but a slight fade is very hard. I'm not that good.
Well, that's the overswing, that's the issue.
I'm not very. If I want to do a massive slice, a massive hook. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up. A massive hook. I can do a massive hook. It'll feel weird as hell. But I also can do a little bit of a fade on my driver because it's an easier club for me to hit. It's the same with my 2-iron hybrid. I love, when I'm in trouble in the trees, I can bend it round the trees rather than take my medicine chip out. Sometimes when I know that I have got a lot of area there to play with, for me to come round, I know that I can do it. And I've got like 100 yards or about 50 yards to play with.
So I'll just take you to it now with the shots. So let's get your 7-iron first. So your 7-iron, so what is 7-iron?
Yeah.
What we'd like to see is the 7-iron being more in the middle of your stance.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always say to people, if you go to your longest iron, progress, but put it in between your inside left. So this is where you put your 3-wood and your driver. Hybrid should go where your 4-iron goes, which is in between your inside left and the middle, so it's about there.
Yeah.
So that should be your ball position for your 4. With most of your clubs, they're actually, you can sometimes get quite a long way in front.
Really, I think on my 7-iron, the ball was in the middle. I thought my 7-iron ball was in the middle. No. Okay.
Remember, Si, you're in here. The mat is absolutely dead square, so you're going to put your feet dead square.
Yeah.
On the golf course, I'm only going to assume to hit a draw, you have to aim
right.
Yes, you have to aim slightly right to the target. So because obviously to counteract the ball going left and getting that draw, your body needs to be pointing in a different direction. You won't need to do that when you put your ball position back in your stance, because it's just slightly tweaks the swing path. But that's the thing, you just need to go back to basics there. You need to really sort of like when you're on the range, you just club down the ground. Make sure you're doing that in your pre-shot routine, which was mentioned in the notes, Martin. You really need to sort of like get religious with that aim. And then when you put your ball position down, I'd say, right, I'm set up. There's nothing can go wrong unless I do something in my swing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. So we'll just hit a few 7-irons and we'll just work on bringing that ball position back in your stance. Now, hopefully what we'll see is, because of that change, the ball should be starting right. And what I'd like to do is shorten your maximum, so then it's easier, you can still get the draw you need. But you don't need to swing so softly to get it anymore. Because you're shorter, you still got the time to close the club face through impact. So if I show you what you were doing before, so you're probably aiming left there. So your ball position, you thought it was in the centre, but actually from that angle it's there. You see?
Yeah, because I'm making it after.
Yeah, exactly. And then you shift onto your right-hand side. So from there, from the overswing, you go very, very slowly to get the draw. So if I go overswing, I have to swing very slowly to get any draw on it.
Yeah.
Just to get the time to close over the shot. But with a shorter backswing, I don't need to do that. I can go to here, hit it as hard as I want, but I still know my toe is going to, the toe of the club is still going to release through the shot. I'll just go to square this time. from here. If I go, this is my backswing at the moment. I don't go any further than that. So I know I'm still going to get some draw in it because my backswing's shorter. But I can still generate some power through it.
Yeah.
But it's a controlled power because my backswing's shorter. Yeah. Right, let's give that a go then, Sam. So what I might do is just go back and put some sticks down for make life easier.